Welcome, coaches, to the TDCAA Table Tennis 2018-2019 Coaches Meeting. As in previous years, we'll be conducting this meeting via YouTube in lieu of meeting in person. Quick recap of last year. Last year we had 19 schools participate, over 150 participants. Our junior trophy and banner went to Cardinal Newman. The junior boys banner went to Brébeuf College School. The junior girls banner went to Loretto Abbey Catholic Secondary School. The senior trophy and banner went to Bishop Allen. The senior boys banner went to Cardinal Newman. The senior girls banner went to Archbishop Romero and Pope John Paul II. There was a tie there. And then the overall trophy went to Cardinal Newman. Just to give you an update on Ontario Invitationals, last year, due to funding and staffing issues, there were no Ontario Invitationals. I have not received any word from the conveners with regards to a tournament for this year. If there were to be a tournament, the team would be selected as follows. The bronze, silver, and gold medalists from the senior divisions would be chosen to represent the TDCAA at the Ontario Invitationals, and selected medalists from the junior divisions would also be selected. This year's invitations for the Ontario Invitationals, if there is one, would be given out at the TDCAAs, and our participation in the Ontario Invitationals would depend on receiving sufficient number of commitments from coaches and players at the TDCAAs. As I said, though, I haven't heard anything from them, so that all of that could be moot. What you need to know. The TDCAA table tennis season consists of friendlies and the final TDCAA tournament. Friendlies are coordinated among coaches via email. To organize friendlies, you can use the email addresses found in the group emails that I sent. Every player must play a minimum of one friendly prior to the final TDCAA tournament. So the location for the TDCAAs will be the same as the last 8 years. We'll be having it at the Canadian Community Table Tennis Association, the CCTTA, at 1181 Denison Street, Markham. Just in case that name sounds a little different to you, they did change their name from the Chinese Canadian Table Tennis Association to the Canadian Community Table Tennis Association, but the location remains the same, 1181 Denison Street, Markham. The TDCAAs for the juniors will run on Tuesday, April 16th, and then for the seniors on Wednesday, April 17th. Both days the tournaments will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I would highly recommend, however, that players and coaches all get to the tournament by 8:30, as they will need time to warm up, get dressed, and be prepared for the tournament. To submit the players for your team, we will be doing that as in previous years through Google Forms. Submissions are going to be due by March 29th, 2019. I'd ask that everyone respect this deadline, as it takes me a great deal of time to seed all of the players. Any submissions beyond that date will not be accepted, and we have to strictly enforce this. Otherwise, what happens is on the day of the tournament, there's a whole bunch of entries, and this just destroys all the brackets and causes a lot of stress for the volunteers who have been so nice as to come and help me out. So there's a link there on the screen you can see. I'll also put it in the notes to this video where you can submit your player names.
The amount of students that you can submit for your team is up to 32 players. If you don't have 32 players, not to worry, not many teams do. Provided this little chart down below here that shows you how we get to that number of 32. You can submit both a Team A and a Team B for each category. Categories being boys, girls, mixed doubles, boys doubles, girls doubles. You can see you'll end up with a total of 8 players for Team A, 8 players for Team B. You add those up, you end up getting 16 players. We then multiply that by 2, as you'll be submitting players for both the senior and juniors division, and you end up with a max of 32. Some logistical information. Coaches, please ensure that all your players have signed a media release form prior to the tournament, as pictures and video will be taken there. In terms of uniform, try to have your team to have a consistent theme and make sure none of your players have black sole shoes on the day of the tournament, as they mark the gym floors. Shoes also must be indoor athletic shoes. For doubles teams, need to have matching shirts and shorts. And if there are any religious considerations with regard to the uniform, please let me know. I'll be happy to make any accommodation that is necessary. Rackets, no wooden, plastic, or sandpaper paddles. On the top right there, you can see a couple examples of forbidden paddles. Students using those paddles will be asked to change their paddles and use ones that are considered appropriate. All rackets need to have a sponge or pips, and you can see a couple examples in the bottom right there of acceptable paddles.
So that concludes our coaches meeting. I hope that you have all the information that you need. This information is also in the email that I've sent out notifying you of this video. It is also available on the TDC AA Table Tennis website in Coach's Corner. If you have any questions, feel free to email me.